All right, welcome back to another math-tastic video with D. Dykstra here in the house. Okay, check it out. Solving exponential equations with E or ln. That's the learning target tonight. That's what we're hoping to do. So check it out. What we need to do is we need to review some basic properties of the natural log. One is ln and E of 1 is 0 because we say E to what power is 1? Well, that's 0. ln of E, of base E, of E is 1. We notice that ln always brings an E with it, and whenever those two get together, then they create a 1. ln of base E of E to the x is just x, because if there's an E to the x and I bring a ln involved, then we can have just x. Now, if there's an ln of E to the x and we make it look like it's in exponential power and we E both sides of the equation, then this x will just drop down. And we're going to use that tonight in a couple of different explanation or scenarios. So these are the properties that you want to make sure you are aware of so you can use them over and over again. All right, let's take a look at some examples. Example number 1. 2 is equal to E to the 0.075t. So again, t is in the exponential area, and so that's why we need to use logarithms. Now, for this, we want to apply a simple property of the ln property, where we brought ln, and we get ln of 2 is equal to ln of E at 0.075t. Now look, what happens when we use this, ln of E to the x, we get just x. And so that's what happens here, is this 0.075 just drops down. This ln of E actually just goes away. And so we are left with 0.075t, ln of 2 on this side. We divide now by 0.075. And we get t is equal to, put that in your calculator, you get 9.24. All right, example number 2. This says ln of x squared equals 16. So what do we do in this case? Scoot this over. So in this case, what we want to do is bring our 2 down using the power rule property. And that gives us 2 ln x equals 16. Now, we can divide both sides by 2. So if I divide both sides by 2, we go 2, and divide this by 2, and we get 16 divided by 2, which is 8. And now we're left with ln x equals 8. And so now we're trying to ask ourselves, E to what power is x? And so we can rewrite this in exponential form and get the answer, or we can apply a base E to both sides, making it all look like it's raised to a power, and we get E to the 8th, and so we get x is E to the 8th. You plug this back in here, and if this said ln of E 8, look, check it out. We go ln of E to the 8th all squared. Does that equal 16? Well, ln of E, 8 times 2 is 16, and so ln of E goes away, and so yes, 16 is equal to 16. Pretty cool. All right. I like logarithms. They're fun. So, last example here. Let's move over a little bit. All right, check this out. We have ln of 7 minus x, and that is supposed to equal ln of negative 5x minus 1. Now, if I brought this to the other side, then I would end up multiplying it together, and I'd end up with some quadratic or something crazy. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to apply the E to both sides, make it look like it's being raised to a power, which will allow me to just drop that down, and it'll come right out of the E, and those will end up canceling like so. And so we're left with 7 minus x equals negative 5x minus 1. Now it's just a simple algebra problem from here. we add an x to the ones from one side. We add this x, add an x, and we get negative 4x over here. I'm going to take this 1 and add 1 to both sides. We get 7 plus 1 is 8. 8 equals negative 4x. And we get, after we divide, we get x is equal to negative 2. Now, don't be so quick to think, oh, yay, I found a solution without checking it. Because remember that we can't have a logarithm inside, a negative inside the parentheses, okay? There is nothing we can do. If we say ln of what negative is equal to a positive out here, and we say, oh, that's just e to some positive equals some negative, right? That's basically how we have to rewrite that. Well, there's no way, even plus or minus, I will ever get a negative number over here. So we have to make sure that whatever is inside the parentheses stays positive. So, negative 2, well, since it's negative 2 here, this is going to go 7 minus a minus 2. So 7 minus a minus 2, which will turn that to a plus, so that becomes 9. And then we get negative 5 times a negative 2, which is a positive 10. 10 minus 1 is a positive number, and so we end up with positive insides. And so, yes, x equal negative 2 is a solution. All right, thanks again. D. Dykstra, I'm out. Hope you had a great night. Thanks again. And don't forget, math that like button.